For years, YouTube was a mystery that we just couldn't seem to solve. All the issues with thumbnails and algorithms and titles, it really honestly drove me personally crazy as a podcaster and a musician because I felt like I'm not a YouTuber. I don't understand all of these things that you're trying to make me do in order to be successful on YouTube. Well, I'm happy to say I believe we've now finally solved that struggle. At least now we know exactly what's working and what's not working for us in our content creation and our platform to reach the people that God has called us to reach on YouTube. So we're going to share the 3 things that we've changed in our YouTube strategy that have really helped us solve that struggle and get beyond that 1,000 subscriber mark. And one bonus tip that will help you no matter where you're building your community or your platform. Give us just a moment to welcome those of you who are new to God and Gigs, and then we'll get right into this important conversation. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alan. I'm the host and founder of God and Gigs, where we help you to succeed as a creative without sacrificing your faith. And today we're talking about YouTube. This is one of the biggest issues that it seems all of us creatives are facing. Whether you're a video person, whether you're an audio person, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a musician, it pretty much is, without question, a done deal. You have to be on YouTube. You have to show up on video on platforms where you are presenting your work, presenting your thoughts, presenting your music, whatever it is. YouTube, as the number 2 search engine in the world, pretty much owns this space where you have to show up on this platform. The problem is, people like me who are not video people, we didn't grow up learning how to do editing and video content. I was focused on music and I was focused on podcasting. So doing all this YouTube stuff just felt like a foreign language. So for years, my channels languished at a few hundred subscribers and a few views here and there. And I never wanted to put forth the energy or the effort to try to understand a world that felt so foreign and so really out of my area as a creative. However, it was also impossible to ignore all the people who were blowing up on YouTube. And probably that's the wrong word to use. Not necessarily blowing up, but they were utilizing YouTube to build their communities, to build their platforms, and it didn't look like they were falling for all this viral content and this desire to have millions and millions of subscribers that I didn't want anyway. Well, since that was the case, since I saw people who were succeeding, I said, you know what? This is not a place where I can turn a blind eye. This is not a place where I can stick my head in the sand. Even as a podcaster, I need to know how YouTube really works. So we connected with LaShonda Brown of Bootstrap Biz Advice. She's one of our established creative experts inside our own membership, but I'm a member of her membership. So that was one of the big turning points in God and Gigs, and frankly, some of the other properties that I manage to help us get out of that YouTube slump. So what are the 3 things we changed? Well, I can tell you, one of the first things that really made a big difference is to stop thinking like a podcaster or like a musician and start thinking like someone who's on YouTube. Now, I know that may sound simple, but it's a big mindset shift, especially if you are in another area like me and you don't think of video first. It's a hard shift to start saying, no, wait a minute, before I present my material on YouTube, I need to consider the audience of YouTube. In the case of God and Gigs, our audience is not just people who consume video. We have musicians, we have filmographers, we have videographers, we have career coaches, we have people of all walks of creative life who are sharing and building their platforms. And so I had to say to myself, what do the people on YouTube who are in my audience, in our community, also want? So that meant to have to take a hard look at the content and the way that we were sharing it. And yes, for all my podcasters in the room, I know this means taking a different attitude toward your audio and your video. In this very episode that I'm recording right now, I'm actually making edits as I record to think about how this will show up on video and how it will sound on audio. Is it extra work? Yes. Is it worth it? The signs and the data say yes. On every single episode that I have made intentional changes to look at YouTube and how YouTube functions and what works on other videos, even though the content didn't change much, just that slight shift increased our views by almost double. And it helped us get to 1,000 subscribers, not only on God and Gigs, but also on the other podcasts that I am producing. So I've seen it work multiple times, that changing your attitude and thinking about YouTube in terms of its own ecosystem, instead of trying to force your content into YouTube's algorithm and hoping that it works, that's the first major change that helped us get unstuck in our YouTube growth. The second thing we changed is realizing the power of our back catalog. Now, I can be honest and say I really wasn't paying attention to YouTube in the early days of God and Gigs, 2020, 2021, 2022. I finally started posting more regularly and getting our episodes out there, I'd say maybe 2023, the end of 2022. But there were some videos that we did share. And one video, one that I'm so blessed that we were able to make and able to share, is accounting for nearly half of our new subscribers and our videos. And that's our episode with Paris Bowens. God rest his soul, rest in peace, Paris, because your interview, as I'm speaking almost like first person, it makes me emotional to think about it. But Paris's interview with us, just a 15-minute clip from that interview, has been our biggest episode and our biggest video. Why? Because it was positioned in SEO. When people wanted to find out about Paris, they found our video. And people were pouring out their love for Paris after he passed. And this is really, again, one of the things that I didn't really realize was the power of YouTube, the power of the back catalog of people to find videos that we recorded long before I even paid attention to the data and making sure it was SEO friendly and things like that. So the second thing that we changed is really focusing on the back catalog, on episodes that we have with Jade Warshaw, who is now a Ramsey personality on the Dave Ramsey podcast and show, and she's getting millions of views. But many of those people are finding our interview because we interviewed Jade long before she was even on the Dave Ramsey show. So people are finding us and our videos because we're now optimizing that space for those people to find us on YouTube. So that means changing some thumbnails, looking back at the data, figuring out what has worked, and actually making sense of it so that we can make our content, our podcast, everything else that we're sharing relevant to those who are searching. So that's a second change that we made that made a huge difference in us getting to our 1,000 subscriber mark and getting unstuck in our YouTube growth. The third thing that has made a huge difference has been our live streams. And once again, shout out to LaShonda at Bootstrap Biz Advice, who told me to get out of my own head because during the pandemic, we were doing live streams every week. And I was seeing some growth in the way that I was sharing. It was helping me to communicate better. The problem is that right around, I'd say 2021, 2022, I got a little tired of it. I thought nobody was watching and I wanted to focus more on the membership. So I started focusing on God and Gigs 360 and doing live streams over there, but not publicly. LaShonda helped me realize that, wait, I need to show up every week, just like I was during the pandemic, and showing people that we are here on YouTube to provide solutions, to build community, and yes, to also build up hours of content that people could go back and watch. So the big change in that area was absolutely saying, hey, you know what? We got to turn the mic on, we got to set a time, and we're going to show up every week. And that has been a big change that has helped us, once again, to build rapport, to understand what works on video, and to really just get our content better. So those three changes have made a huge difference, actually looking at YouTube as its own content space. Number two, taking care of our back catalog and realizing that some of our old videos were actually the best performing videos and making sure that they were prepared for people to find them. And finally, doing our live streams. Now, I did mention one bonus tip, and this is kind of like really two bonus tips together. One other thing that really made a huge difference is our use of shorts and using tools like TubeBuddy to program those shorts to go live exactly when our audience and our community was online. So using TubeBuddy and using some of those things where we can see what kind of tags are really trending, making sure our shorts were then clipped and then put out right at the time that we needed them to go out, really made a huge difference in several of our shorts getting thousands and thousands of views, even though we weren't that big of a channel. So a bonus tip is use things like TubeBuddy, which you can find at our God and Gigs toolkit page. Use those tools and make sure that you're using shorts in the right way to get your content out to the right people at the right times. That was a huge thing. That's a little bonus tip that'll help you as well to solve the YouTube struggle. Well, my friend, as you can see, this has been an evolution. It started with me not wanting to have anything to do with YouTube. And like I said, it's okay because as a musician and a podcaster, my focus is on my music and my voice and what we share. However, those of us who are following YouTubers and seeing how they're blowing up, we don't have to be like them, but you do have to study and understand that YouTube is its own ecosystem, its own place, and do things that will help you grow there without sacrificing all of your time and all of your energy. You can actually build a platform that God can use to get to the right people when you're supposed to reach them and give them the beauty, the creativity, the honesty, the authenticity. Everything that you have to share can be done in this platform if you approach it the right way. Well, my friends, I hope this episode, this creative checkup episode, has blessed you. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you follow us, like this video, like us on whatever app you're using, and subscribe so you can learn more about what we're doing at God and Gigs to help you become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and I'll see you next episode. My friend, thank you for watching this episode. If that blessed you, you got to make sure that you stay connected with this community and this channel so that you can get more where that came from. We're sharing great interviews, tactics, strategies, mindsets, lifestyle choices. Everything is going to help you become a totally confident creative. And don't miss an episode of the God and Gigs Show. If you are staying connected to our channel, you'll be able to find us anytime we release new episodes. And you can check out some of our archives of almost 200 episodes now that we've shared over the last few years. Make sure you check out one of the suggestions right now because it's probably perfect for you to continue to develop as a creative. And continue to stay connected with us because we're here to help you become the creative that God created you to be. We'll see you in the next episode.